I'm joined now by the editor of The Conversation, Andrew Jaspan. He's also a former editor of The Age newspaper. Andrew Jaspan, it's well known that Fairfax has been in trouble for a while. That's why it announced, 1,900 job losses and a big restructuring. But do you think this result means there's even more trouble ahead for the company?
Oh, undoubtedly. And I think Greg Highwood, who you just had a clip from there, has made it clear that earnings are down both this year and they're projecting a further 10% decrease next year. The story really here is one, as again he referred to, a structural change, and by that what he means is a movement of advertising dollars out of old print products into some digital products, but also fragmenting across many other platforms. That's pretty well out of their control. The stuff that's within their control is what they're doing in terms of redundancies, and as you know, at the end of this week, I think it's about 150 senior editors, or journalists I should say, are leaving Fairfax, and 1,900 across the whole group. They're also doing big changes to the way in which they're running their papers and their digital sites. And then, of course, what's coming around the corner is what Gina Rinehart might do, which is also somewhat out of their control. So it's a pretty difficult period, I would have thought, for all staff at Fairfax.
Do you think this massive loss plays into Gina Rinehart's arguments that the company has lost its way and that she should at least get a seat on the board? And do you think, in fact, that this company is now open to a hostile takeover?
Yes, I think the rumours very much within the market are that it's now ripe for takeover and possibly breakup as well. In terms of Gina Rinehart, she's the largest single shareholder with 15%. She's written to every single shareholder ahead of the October AGM of Fairfax, saying that she ought to, at the very least, get 2 seats on the board. But she's also made it clear that the chairman, Roger Corbett, came in when shares were trading at around the 89 cents a share mark. They're today at about 50 cents. So she thinks that the current management are destroying value, and what she wants is a new direction for the company. And of course, sitting behind the new direction, because let's not forget, she's not really a financial investor in the sense of wanting a return on her investment. She wants also change in editorial direction.
Do you think this result means that more changes have to be made at Fairfax Media? I noticed today there was an associate professor of journalism at Deakin University, Martin Hurst, who was writing that perhaps Fairfax now has to consider dropping some of its daily print editions. What do you think about that idea?
Well, that comment by Martin Hurst is actually just symptomatic of what's going on within the company. There is a lot of talk of reducing the number of times during the week that the papers are published, perhaps moving away from weekday publication altogether, or maybe dropping to just 1 or 2, with a focus on publication in terms of a print product only on Saturdays and Sundays, and going just digital during the week. All these are issues being discussed. As you know, the papers have decided to go compact. A decision's been made. They go compact next March, which means getting rid of the large printing plants at Chilora and at Tullamarine here in Melbourne. So this is all part of reducing costs. Taking staff out, the 1,900 you mentioned, is again another way of reducing costs. And the aim is to try and take costs out faster than revenues are falling.